Lynn Slater spent 2 decades working in education, but a passion for fashion would take her career in a direction she never could have predicted. 68-year-old Lynn Slater was an associate professor at Fordham University, but was looking for a bit more in her life.
When I turned 60, I was starting to feel a little bored and looking for a new challenge. And I started to take classes at the Fashion Institute of Technology. And in all of the classes, the professors and the students would say, "You have really great style. You should start a blog."
But it was a lunch date that launched the idea to the next level.
It was New York Fashion Week. I was meeting a friend for lunch, and as I was waiting, a photographer approached me and said, "Can I take your photo?" And I was like, "Sure."
That photographer and a crowd of onlookers mistook Lynn for a fashion industry insider.
My friend came upon this scene. She basically said, "Oh my God, you're an accidental icon."
Accidental Icon was born and would take Lynn on an incredible journey, building a brand with over 700,000 followers on Instagram, landing her a modeling contract and multiple national campaigns.
These are things I could not, in my wildest dreams, have imagined.
What a wild ride, and Lynn joins us now. Welcome to the show, Lynn.
Hi, Tamron.
Hi.
Glad to be here.
I'm happy to have you. I can tell you, like so many, I don't know where I first saw a photograph of you or an image, and I, though, remember saying, "Who is this woman?" I mean, there was something about the image that just compelled me to start Googling you and looking into your background. You said it. You were, I think, was it 60? You were bored. You needed a little challenge. But I imagine you never saw this challenge coming from everything that I've read.
If anyone had ever told me when I wrote my first blog post that what would happen to me would happen, I would say, "You are just stark raving crazy." I had no agenda, and I just kind of put myself out there.
Were you really just standing around and people thought you were a fashion insider? That sounds like a Hollywood script.
Well, it actually happened, but I think I started to become more well-known after a Valentino eyewear ad and being discovered by a modeling agency. And there was a post that went viral. And literally within 24 hours, I had 200,000 more followers. Wow. And that just really made everything take off.
So prior to that, were you interested in fashion? Did you want to be a model? Was it on your bucket list of things to do?
Absolutely not. I always loved clothes. And, you know, listening to your guest designer, I too always wore clothing as sort of an armor, an expression of my identity, using clothes like a painter might use paint.
What did you do for a living before all of this?
I have been a social worker for 45 years, and I was a professor of social welfare for 20 years. I just retired last year from full-time teaching, and so now I'm just doing Accidental Icon.
Did this happen to give you, though, some street cred, if you will, with some of the younger clients who suddenly now see you as a social media star, and it gave you, I guess, a new way to connect with so many young women?
Yeah, and, you know, I didn't intend this at all. It just sort of happened. But I've become this person who is conveying both to younger and older people that being old is not so horrible.
Yeah. That
being old can be so much fun. You can be a badass when you're old. Life. Mine started at 61. So why are you going to spend all your time being afraid of that time?
I love it. Before I let you go, I'm curious now then, is there any fashion look you feel women over 50 or 60 should not wear? Or can you rock it all no matter your age?
No rules.
No rules. I love it. And I love it. Well, listen, I love that periwinkle blue you have on today. I can't keep my eyes off of it. And I love your philosophy on life even more. Lynn, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.